Hey everybody, All Muffin Justin here. I'd like to make a decent video on a couple key points. I gotten a couple video requests, ideas, things like that. Um, Stress, worry, things like that, projection. Um, yeah, I'd really like to explain the difference of, worrying and stress. The two come together. If this is worry, this is stress. You begin to worry at first, always. Worrying is like a thought, a pattern. It's a repetitive form of if and else then, you know, if this then this, if this then that, if this else this, etc. It's like it's a statement of else's and ifs. Um, we all do it. Every one of us, all of us. Even people who will say, I don't do that. That's not me. That ain't me at all. Yes, you do. You indeed do. Uh, you worry all the time. We all do. Some of us do it subconsciously, and some of us do it consciously. We do it all the time. Me, let me give you a good example. I worry all the time. 2 weeks ago, I was playing my trumpet, reaching the high notes, one of the more loud parts of the songs, and my stomach popped. I popped. I made a noise inside, and I even heard it and felt it. I got into excruciating pain, and I fell to the floor in pain, and I waited about 20 minutes, and worry, thoughts built up, and I took myself to the ER. Well, I took myself to an ambulance service 2 minutes away from my house, and they took me to the ER, which I'm still debating because they didn't do very many tests. I'm still worrying. I'm still thinking about it. I'm thinking about the past and the future, things like that. I don't think about it right now because I'm still here. What about an hour? Etc. Stress. Stress is the silent killer. We've talked about that many times before. Stress, the silent killer. That's what it really is. It's a silent killer. If you sit there and worry, you think and you project your fears, your phobias, your anguishes, etc., all day long, or a couple times a week. And this could go on for 15 minutes a day or so. A moderate level of worry, then all you're doing is raising stressors in the body. And stressors are only combated by other hormones. Now, if you're worrying, you're not going to produce the hormones needed to remove the stressors out of the bloodstream, out of the body, out of all the muscle, out of all the fat tissue, out of all your cells. You're not going to remove the stressors. Think of it like this. Most people don't even understand this analogy, so I'll break it down. If you're diabetic, your pancreas is dead, basically. Diabetes 2. You have no pancreas. So you need to take insulin. It's a shot. Most people believe that insulin actually kills sugar. It removes it out of the bloodstream. It just makes it go away. No, no. Insulin is the key to a cell wall structure to let sugar in for your body to absorb it. And the same can be said about stressors and its predecessor. It's the thing that removes it. It's a key that lets your body absorb and use and get rid of the stressor hormones. And there's a few of them. And there's really only one, maybe two ways that you could remove it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Almost every video, it seems. My vitamin D level is fucking 14. It's horrible. Anyways, um, so when you're stressed out and you're worrying all the time, you're going to get what we call anxious. And anxious would seem like, now a lot of people believe that anxious would seem to be, um, panic attacks and no, not necessarily. You could be anxious about something and not actually really have a panic attack or a full-blown anxiety episode. You could just be scared. You could go into certain sects of paranormal or paranormal paranoia. You could go into certain aspects of schizophrenia, but you may skip the whole panic attack thing. Sure, I do it sometimes. I go schizophrenic sometimes, and it's not really schizophrenia. It's more paranoia schizophrenia than anything. And in my mind, a paranoid schizophrenic is a whole lot different than someone that's schizophrenic. To me, at least in my version, I can't say that globally. In my version, a paranoid schizophrenic is someone who's just paranoid all the time about anything. It's a set. It's like a firewall. You have set rules, goals, and collateral damage that will be done. But you have set rules. You have set goals. You have set policies, and you will follow these. And that's a paranoid schizophrenic to me. It's always tailored to the individual. Schizophrenia is more broad. You could do a lot of things that you're not used to at any given time. So here comes again. Ugh, fuck. Anyways, so that being all said, um, stress, worry, anxiety, these things are controllable. You don't have to do what I do. You don't have to take medication, pills. You don't. Um, Most of you don't. You really don't. Some of you do. But we'll get back to that in another video. This is just me explaining the differences. Okay, worry is a thought. We're going to go right back to it. Worry is a thought. It's progressive, always progressive. It can be bad, it can be good, it can be neither. It could be neutral, it could be just a thought. One thought could spark just, it won't even work. Fuck it. Analogy's broken. Damn. Anyways, I knew it wouldn't work. Sorry, I just wanted you guys to smile and laugh a little bit. Anyways, but worry is like a spark that will flame the stress, and the stress will burn the anxiety. You get that one, I'm pretty sure. So, what I'm saying is, when you worry, you think, you overthink, you imagine, you think over and over, and then you start to imagine, and then you start to project these thoughts into real life scenarios. Now you've moved into stress and worry at the same time. They're overlapping. Once you move into stress, you quickly move into anxiety. The body has fight or flight response. It's what we're built for. We don't have very many awesome tools to our own advantage on our body for things, so we fight or flight. And once you enter that, a lot of chemicals enter the body, and they're natural, so don't freak out. And a lot of you get your panic. Damn. Ugh, I'm not even tired. It's my vitamin D level. Anyways, a lot of you get your panic attacks and your anxiety attacks, and there are differences. I've made a video on the differences. I should make another one to really go into it, but to reiterate, a lot of you will get your panic attacks, your anxiety attacks, your schizophrenic episodes, your personality disorders, your identity disorders, all because of the stressors that led up to the fight or flight response. And basically, a fight or flight response is If you would picture yourself, a guy coming up to you out of nowhere from behind and putting a gun up to the back, the side of your head, give me all your money. You are going to enter the fight or flight response immediately. Within not even within a second, you will notice within a few milliseconds, the brain works that quick. You will start producing a whole lot of things, epinephrine, atropine, if your body can produce that. It's rare. It's rare, rare, rare. Um, Adrenaline, that's everybody produces that. And if you hold your breath, guess what? You're going to die. And that sucks. No one holds their breath wrong. The body's natural, normal response is to breathe a lot, very heavy, because the adrenaline, if you actually hold your breath during a panic episode, like a full blown fight or flight, the adrenaline might actually cause you to knock out. And from the knockout, you could die. Don't worry about that. That's never happened. It's theory. It's never happened. But so you run into the fight or flight response, and that will trigger your episode. And after the episode, you feel fine. Everyone does. You feel fine. You might feel a little weird, but that's the chemical effects leaving the body. You like I always put it back into this analogy: sex, um, stress, anxiety, worry. That is the moments of sex. Those are the things that get you going. And then once you reach your orgasm climax, that's the full-blown panic attack or your fight or flight response. You've hit a peak. So you've gone up and up and up and up. Now you've stopped. This is as high as you can go. You peak and you level off really quick. You go back down. You feel better. But when it comes down, you feel really weird, so you go up a little bit, then you kind of slowly just kind of wean yourself down. It works out. Sirens are going off in my town. That's very awkward for this time of night. Anyways, so, a lot of us don't understand how to control our thoughts and our ability to, you know, um, to foresee our own patterns. If you remember yesterday, if you have anxiety, stress, worry, um, a lot. And you remember yesterday, what stressed you out yesterday? What made you worry? And I'm not talking about like, wow, that laundry needs to be done, the dishes got to get, the house is dirty. No, I'm talking about real worry, real stress. Like, I don't know, I just had open heart surgery. Can I be lifting this 8-pound object? No, you can't. But you did it anyways because you kind of have to because no one else is around. That's worry. In my situation, my stomach, guess what? Has not been resolved and is getting worse. My pain is incredible. It is a lot worse than it was before, and I don't get my Vicodin for 2 more days. So the pain is incredible. We're talking an 8 out of 10 whenever I'm laying down. All right, that's 4 times in 13 minutes. That ain't nice. That's not good. I'm not getting enough fucking oxygen to my body. Anyway, see, that's worry. That's worry. I'm not getting enough oxygen into my bloodstream. I'm yawning a lot. A yawn is a progressive action for the body to pull in oxygen in the bloodstream to remove the carbon dioxide. So if I'm yawning, which 4 times in 13 minutes, I'm not getting the oxygen required to meet the standard of life. So that's worry. But I'm not going to let it stress me out. I'll go to bed before that happens. Fuck all that. So, anyways, worries, it's a thought. You always started out with a thought. It's always a thought. It's your imagination on steroids. And then you stress out. Stressors are natural hormones, chemicals in the body. After that, you have your panic attack or your episode. It's very simple. Now I'll make another video on how to remove all of these.